Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Gridiron Ref. Thank you for tuning in. Today's video is going to be about penalty enforcement, and we're going to specifically break down penalty enforcement and talk about fouls during changes of possessions and double fouls. Alright, so if you're a coach or an official, you need to stick around, watch players. Hey, look, this is kind of getting real deep into the rules. Might not be as exciting for you. Go check out some of my other videos on pass interference and blocks and backs and things like that can help you out. Alright, so today's video about penalty enforcement. If you've watched my videos, you've heard me say before that football officials have been getting judgment calls wrong since the beginning of the sport back in the 1900s, okay? Look, it's just part of the game. Sometimes we rule a catch an incomplete pass, or we have a fumble that we roll down. That's part of the game. Sometimes we miss a foul. We don't want to do these. Most officials are working very hard to learn the rules and do the mechanics so we can minimize these types of mistakes. But there is some level of acceptance for an incorrect judgment call. Now, when we talk about penalties, penalty enforcement, interpretation of the rules, there is zero allowance for error. Officials, we owe it to the coaches, the players, and the parents to get these types of things right. And it's a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of studying and practicing and talking about it, but we need to get penalty enforcement right. So that's why we're going to talk about this and break it down for you. Coaches, I want to let you know that there is a way you can be a double check to us, all right? So if you're on the field and you've made a mistake and you feel the officiating crew has enforced a penalty wrong or interpreted the rules incorrectly, you can call a timeout. And I'm going to give you an example. Let's say we have a forward pass and it's touched by an ineligible, and I throw a flag and I say illegal touching on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay, third down. Well, I'm wrong because that's a loss of down. So at that point, you can call a timeout, say, Mr. Crew Chief, I'd like to talk to you. Illegal touching is an automatic loss of down. Can we fix that? I'll say, oh, that's my fault. You're not charged a timeout. We're going to correct the foul. We're going to get ready, and we're going to play football. If, for some reason, you want to challenge the official for a rolling on the field and you are incorrect, you will be charged that timeout. After you're done speaking your case, you can have the remainder of the timeout to talk with your team, but then we're going to play football. It still applies if you have no timeouts. The difference would be if you're wrong, delay of game. If you're not wrong, we correct the error and move on. So we're talking about penalty enforcement. We're talking about changes of possessions. Rule 10, Section 2, Article 2. See if I can get it up here close. You can see this over here is entire paragraph. It continues on to the next page. It's absolute insanity. I actually read it out to new officials and say, you got all that? And then, explain to them, hey, the best way to learn this stuff is dissecting it and breaking it down. So that's what we're going to attempt to do. So a few things that everyone should keep with them in the back of your head, a few concepts to help you get through all this. Because if you're in the big game, like I always say, and you're in front of 5,000 people, we got a close game, something crazy happens, we need to be able to rule correctly under pressure. And so if you look through my first penalty enforcement video, kind of give you an idea of how I go through and work through each penalty enforcement. Not saying that you have to do that one, but you should have something like that of how you're going to work through each penalty enforcement, a procedure that's just second nature. So we're talking about penalty enforcement and double fouls and change of possessions. There's a few concepts that I kind of came up with to help everyone out. Number one, Team A. For you guys coaches that don't understand Team A, the rule book refers to Team A. They're the ones that put the ball in play by a legal snap. Team B is the opponent of the team putting the ball in with legal snap. You guys would call them offense and defense, all right? So Team A remains Team A throughout the down. Their designation never changes. Team B remains Team B. Same thing with kickers. They're always the kickers throughout the down. They're always Team K. The receivers are always Team R. However, offense and defense change. So if I'm a quarterback and I'm running around, I get the ball, legal snap, I'm part of Team A, I'm the quarterback, I'm running around, I'm on offense, right? When I throw an interception, if I throw an interception and the other team catches it, they are now on offense. Whoever is in possession of the ball is the offense, and their opponent is the defense. So it's a very important concept to understand. Now, Team A, Team B, they never change that throughout the down. But the offense and the defense can change 100 times a down. All right, this is all in the rule book. This is all the foundation of the rule book and in Rule 2. So, is it likely that we would have 100 fumbles and 100 changes of possessions during a down? No, absolutely not. That would be nuts. But through understand offense and defense change throughout the down. All right. The other thing, a ball is always in team possession. It's not always in player possession. So if I'm running with the ball, it's in my possession. It's player possession. I get hit. I fumble the ball. The ball is rolling around. Well, the ball is still in my team's possession. So a ball is always in team possession, no matter what. Even if it's rolling around, if it's a forward pass, it may not be in player possession. It's always in team possession. And then finally, if you've been officiating for any amount of time or whatever, even if you're brand new, you probably have heard the term clean hands. Okay, coaches, and what we refer to as clean hands is when we have changes of possessions, the new team in change of possession has to get the ball with clean hands. All right, so I'm going to give you an example. Now I'm a defender, right? I'm a defensive back. Legal forward passes in flight. I hit that receiver, contact. I'm guilty of defensive pass interference before the ball gets him, and my teammate, my other member of Team B, intercepts that pass. All right. Well, obviously, we committed a foul. We did not get the ball with clean hands. Team A is going to accept the result, or is going to accept the penalty, and the ball goes back to their possession because we did not get the ball with clean hands. Now it works another way too. Let's say again, I'm that defensive back. I'm running back at the line of scrimmage. We have a hold by an offensive lineman. Then the ball is thrown. I catch it. I intercept it. I got the ball. I'm happy, right? I get tackled. But we had a foul by Team A before the change of possession. So the only way for me to get the ball is get it with clean hands. That's the concept I like to use. Maybe not everyone's on board with this, but we have to decline that foul. I have to decline the offensive lineman's holding foul in order for me to maintain possession of the ball. Once we do that, the result would be my ball, my team's ball, where I came dead at. So these are just some tips. Finally, if we have a double foul, all right, so the double foul is a foul by each team. If you have a double foul, a live ball foul by each team, and no change of possession, we have no choice. We replay the down, okay? If we have a double foul and we have a change of team possession, that's completely different. Now, to confuse everyone even more, a double foul, that's considered one or more live ball fouls by each team. So if Team A, the team putting the ball in play, were to commit 3 live ball fouls and the defense commit 1 live ball foul, all those fouls decline. All right, doesn't seem fair, right? Well, guess what? That's the way the rule book says it's going to be. So, may not be fair. Your opponent committed 3 live ball fouls. You committed 1 live ball foul. If there's been no change of possession, it's called a double foul, and the foul's offset. A multiple foul would be the offense or defense one team commits multiple fouls. So we're going to get in all that. I'll talk about that more. But please stick around. Watch some of the things I have to say, because what we found is, if you keep up with the news and stuff like this, getting these types of things wrong are what bring officials into court. After an officiating crew rules incorrectly on penalty enforcement, that's when it hits all the newspapers. That's when we're going to court. So we can prevent this by doing the right thing, practicing, and following a few basic techniques. Thank you. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Before we start looking at our film and going through some of these scenarios, first thing I want to do is, right now we're not going to be analyzing the files or the mechanics of the officials. Okay, that's for another time. Right now, today, our focus is on penalty enforcement and getting it right. So look, if you see something, oh, you didn't think that was a foul, or you thought there was a foul there, either way, let's forget about that. Let's focus on penalty enforcement for the purpose of learning right now. So the first thing we're going to start out with is going to be a multiple foul. Okay, this is in the rule book. This is a multiple foul. This is more than one foul by one team. And you're going to watch the team white here on offense, team A. They're going to commit 3 fouls during the same down. And here we go. Take a look at everyone here. All right, so we got an illegal shift. We've got a hold by number 52. The officials are going to get these. And then later on, you're going to come in here and you're going to see a block in the back by team A, by the team in white. So what do we have? We have 3 fouls by the offense. This is a multiple foul, okay? If they commit 2 fouls, if they commit 3 fouls, if they commit 10 fouls, it's going to be a multiple foul, okay? The defense, in this situation, the team in black, they get to choose one option for these live ball fouls. What's the most advantageous to them? You've got to give them all their options. Let them decide what they want to do. They can go 5 yards previous spot, 10 yards from the spot of the hold, 10 yards from the spot of the block in the back, whatever they like to do, but we've got to give them their options. Okay, next one we're looking at is going to be a double foul. A double foul is when both teams commit a live ball foul during the same down. Okay, so what we're going to have is we're going to have the team in white on defense, team B. They had 12 players on the field at the time of the snap. The member leaving the field didn't get off the field in time, so we're going to have a flag down for illegal substitution on the defense. It's going to be a live ball foul. We're going to let this play. We then have a hold over here, and then incomplete pass. So what do we have? We have 2 live ball fouls committed during the same down by opposing teams. This is called a double foul. All right. In this case, the captains are not going to be asked what the options are. We didn't have a change of possession. Both teams fouled during the same down. This is a double foul. We're going to replay the down. Now, one thing I want to make clear about double fouls. Let's just say the offense committed 4 fouls and the defense committed 1 foul. Well, guess what? That's a double foul. We're not going to administer these any differently. It's a double foul regardless of how many fouls were committed by each team. Even though theoretically, if we said the offense had 4 fouls and the defense had 1 foul, that's a double foul. We're not consulting the captains. We're going to give our signals. We're going to replay the down from the previous spot. Okay, as we are moving along here now, we're going to talk about some change of possessions. These ones are pretty easy. They're pretty common sense, but as we're building up to the more complex stuff, we're going to go through the easy stuff. What do we have here? Obvious illegal shift by the offense. You see the flags coming down. And then we're going to have a change in possession. So black ends up with this ball. So defense, team B, they got the ball. Now, in order for them to keep the ball, if they want to keep the ball, they are going to have to decline the team in white's illegal shift. They have to decline team A's illegal shift. Once they do that, they have the ball. They've gotten it with clean hands. It's going to remain their ball, and we'll be going 1st and 10 the other way. Very next scenario, another change of possession play. All right, what we have down here is we have a hold back here at the line of scrimmage by team B. And then the interception by team B. Remember, there's no face guarding anymore, and so that was clean. But what do we had? We had the hold back here by team B on the offense. Therefore, this is an easy one. It's common sense. The team in white, team A, the offense, whatever you want to call them, they are going to accept the penalty. We're going to force 15 yards previous spot. So team in black did not get this ball with clean hands. They fouled before the change of possession. Therefore, A is going to keep the ball, and we're going to enforce the penalty. All right, now we're moving on. We're going to talk about live balls followed by dead balls. So I'm going to show you this one. This is not going to be a double foul. All right, so up in here, you're going to see there's going to be a hold by the offense. Okay, we got the hold. Flag's going to come out. Ball is now dead, and we have a late hit out of bounds, unnecessary dead ball foul. So what do we have? We have a live ball foul here. We have a dead ball foul here. We cannot combine a live ball foul and a dead ball foul to make a double foul. So therefore, these fouls are going to be enforced separately and in an order of occurrence. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to give the defensive option. They're obviously going to take it, most likely I would say. We're going to go 10 yards from this spot back there, and we're going to replay the down. Then we're going to enforce our dead ball foul. So even though we're all the way back here, we're going to march 15 yards going this way. That is a live ball foul followed by a dead ball foul. We don't have a double foul. There's no offsetting penalties. These fouls are enforced separately in an order of occurrence. This is going to be a very interesting one. And this one, we need to get these correct because this is going to be huge. And you may not agree with the rule, but this is what the rule book says, so we have to follow it. Look, I see this go wrong a lot, and it's not just in the state of Maryland. I know it's happening other places, but please pay attention down here to the down marker. It is 4th down. Watch our guy in motion here. All right, here he comes. We got illegal motion, live ball foul. And as we follow the action of the play, he's out of bounds, and he's hit out of bounds. So right now, runners going. He's out of bounds. He's still live ball, out of bounds. Down is over. Now, obviously, you see your stick here, so that means the line to gain is way down here. He obviously is not going to make the line to gain. He then gets contacted. Well, let's stop before we go any further. He's out of bounds. The down is over. He's failed to make the line to gain. We then have the late hit. That late hit is going to be enforced on the other on the next series. Okay, White's already earned possession of this ball. It doesn't seem right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take care of the live ball foul first. Obviously, the team in white is going to decline the black's live ball foul for illegal motion here. They need to decline that, and they will because they want to get the ball. Okay. And then after we decline that, we're going to mark the spot of out of bounds. We're going to signal this direction, and then we're going to enforce 15 yards. We're going to move the team in white back 15 yards, and it will be 1st and 10. It's not going to be 1st and 25. It's not going to be an automatic first down for Team Black. This is how this is supposed to do. I understand you're going to have a team that's going to be upset, but we've got to get this right. Dead ball foul. As soon as he went out, he failed to make the line of game. It's White's ball. We're just going to penalize him for that late hit. Okay, now we're moving on. We're going to get a little bit more complex here, all right? So what we're going to have, we're going to do theoretically one, okay, to save with time. A hold by Team A before the change of possession. Then what do we have? An interception. Now Team in Black's got the ball. We got a return, and then a blindside block up here. All right, so what do we have now? We have a double foul with change of possession, and the result is a touchdown. So what are we going to do here? Now, we look at Rule 10, Section 2, Article 2. What the rule book says is that the team last in possession gets the first option of what they want to do here. So Team in Black, they were in possession of the ball at the end of the down. We have a double foul. So we can go to Team in Black and we can say, hey, we had a foul before change of possession. The only way you keep this ball is to decline the hold. Decline the hold in here. And then you get to keep the ball. Then we're going to go to the team in white and say, okay, team in black, after declining the ball, got the ball with clean hands, but we have a foul right here during the run. So we're going to enforce 15 yards from the spot of the foul right there. The team in black is going to maintain possession, but we're going to take away their touchdown, and foul occurred right about in here. We're going 15 yards back, 1st and 10. Okay, that's a double foul with a change of possession. So team in black has to decline the penalty to maintain the ball. Okay, last one. No fouls yet. We have an interception by team in black. We now have a change of possession. There's been no fouls yet. The team in black got the ball with clean hands. You're going to see the blindside block in here and a return for a touchdown. And then what we have back here is we have a live ball foul back here. It's going to be back here. You're not going to see it on film. Live ball foul by the team in white, okay? It was an unnecessary and excessive hit. So we got 2 personal fouls. Now, they both occurred during after the change of possession. So what do we have? We have a double foul, correct? However, even though this is a double foul, since we had a change of possession, again, we're going to go to the team last in possession of the ball. The team in black, we're going to say, hey, we have a double foul. We can, if you accept the penalty for the cheap hit behind everything, we're going to replay the down. Or you can decline white's penalty, you keep the ball, and then all we're going to do is we're going to enforce 15 yards from this spot right here. It'll be your ball, 1st and 10 from about in here. Touchdown's taken away, but black maintains the ball. So that's the most important thing, is when you have these change of possessions where there's a double foul, you need to go to the team last in possession of the ball. Who had the possession of the ball at the end of the down? We're going to talk to them first. We're going to give them the options. Most likely, if they can, they are going to decline their opponent's foul because they want to keep the ball. They don't want to replay the down. So we got to remember those types of things. Everyone, thanks for watching. Please leave any comments or questions down below. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day.